Good morning, class 8. Last day I was talking about earthquake zones. I left in the place where I was talking about zones. In India, earthquake occurred in Bihar, Uttarkashi, Latur, Bhuj, Uri, which gave big problems. Not big problems, it is tremendous loss of life and property. Like earthquake also, there is one more disaster that occurs, that is flood. As you have heard or you have seen in TV, the flood that occurred in Patna, Kerala. For the last 2-3 years, this thing is coming up, and you are also going through it, aware about it from the TVs and all those things. What is flood? Flood is when the water level of the river rises up and it submerges. Submerges the lands, posing danger for the life of people, animals. Also it damages cultivations, all the villages. When flood water moves towards farms, they damage the farms, means agricultural fields. It also washes away the top layer of the soil, which is fertile soil. When the residents finally return after the flood water has reached, they discover that their belongings have been damaged. Because if in our houses water comes in and we have to move from it, then the house gets damaged. The crops also get damaged. Many people lose their lives also, livelihoods also. Floods, most probably floods are caused due to the overflowing of the rivers in the monsoon. These are called riverine floods because it is caused by the overflow of the rivers. They are caused due to heavy rains in the monsoons. You have heard about the Kedar Badrinath, that time Kedarnath, when there was a monsoon burst and the avalanches came, but the water that ran down, it have flooded the lowlands of those areas. These are known as floods. People living in low-lying areas faces problems as the river basin suffers the most. Low-lying areas is covered with water. As time the fertile soil is removed, and first as the water is moving very fast, the top layer of the soil is moved, and the fertility of the soil also goes and makes the land infertile. In southwest, monsoon causes most of the floods in the floodplains of Brahmaputra, Ganga, Yamuna, Mahanadi, and river in Punjab. Heavy rains created flood-like situations in India's financial capital, also Mumbai. In the monsoon season, it gets watered. In 2017, causing massive destruction, you have seen lots of problems came in Mumbai in 2017 when there was flood. Last year we have seen in Patna, that before that it was Kerala. So wherever floods is occurring, people are having lots of problems. Damages are happening to the houses, to the land, agriculture, to the river, roads. Lands loses fertility. People do not get their food and everything. So everywhere there is the chaos. It is a natural disaster. We cannot help it out. Sometimes flash floods are there, which is sudden floods resulting to any of these factors. They cause heavy damages. Flash floods causes big damages. Next comes cyclone. Cyclone also you are aware of it because last 2 years we were listening about cyclones that is going to hit India. Yes, it hit India, but we fortunately stayed in such an area where the cyclone was not hitting, but it have hit Puri, Tamil Nadu, such areas. During cyclone, what happens? Low pressure area is created over a warm ocean water and the temperate tropical regions. Due to the disturbance, there is an oval or circular shape that is accompanied. It comes in this way, which brings along with it rain and huge water, and powerful winds are blowing with it, which causes damages on the way which it comes. It is sometimes the blowing velocity of it is 300 km per hour. Storm surge during the high tide is called storm tides. Storm surge during high tides. High tides matlab when the water is quite high. That time when the storm is coming, those are known as storm tides. Causes enormous damage to coastal regions. This time Puri have faced lots of problems. Many things are washed away, broken out. In India coastlines, there is a 700 km of coastline in India. These are the prone areas of cyclonic storms. Places like Orissa, Tamil Nadu, sometime Andhra Pradesh also West Bengal. Next, after flood and cyclone comes droughts. Droughts, I can in Hindi Sukha Parna, and drought is caused due to less rain. When there is no rain and the land loses its water, when there is no water left in the land, and the water table of the underground land also goes down. Then the crops failure, therefore shortage of food occurs, and people have to starve, because when there is no food people cannot eat, so people goes into starve. Not only people, their livelihoods like cows and goats, they also starve, they go to die. People, those who are dependent on agriculture, they have to leave their places, they have to go to far away places in search of work or food. Animal husbandry, agriculture, tribals who are dependent on forests, they are also resources are very badly affected due to drought. Droughts are caused not only by shortage of rainfall but also due to the deforestation. When we cut out a forest, then it cannot bring rain, and as the rain is not coming, the clouds are not forming, rain is not coming, then also flood occurs. So we ask people to plant land as states which are badly affected due to drought are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka. And Maharashtra droughts are occurred. For that you can hear that farmers are suiciding because they are not able to do their farming. Floods and droughts occur mostly every year, bringing with them epidemics. They bring epidemics also and human sufferings too. Now, after natural disaster, now we will talk about man-made disaster. What is man-made disaster? Man-made disasters are disasters which is caused by the mistakes of human beings. The leakage, like the hazardous leakage, gas leakage that happened in Bhopal in 1986, it caused lots of damages. Many people died. A town was washed away. Not only this, after that also, even today, the effect of that gas leakage is still there. People still suffer a lot. Then sometimes fires breaks out. It is by the mistakes of people. So these are all known as man-made disaster. Man-made disaster gives loss of property losses, human losses, which is not good for a society or a country. Okay, fire. Most common disaster is fire, which breaks out at home, hospital, residential areas. Casualty occurs. Incidents rise in the place of cover, and there are few exit points. One such incident took place at it took place in 1997. There was a picture cinema hall in Delhi. Its name is Upahar. It was caught in fire. Many people died in it because at that time film was going on, as there was not much exit point from that hall. Fires usually occur due to poor wiring or by the carelessness of people who light up matchstick and they do not put it off and they throw it. So these are the causes for fireworks. Also sometimes poor quality of building, that also causes fire and breaks down. So whenever we are using fire outside, wherever inside or outside home, we should be careful that we should not throw the burning stick like that. Fire can also cause due to gas leakage. For instance, you just forget, one of the people who, many a times people forget to switch off the gases by mistake, it may be remained open. Then also fire is heated in those areas. Next is natural disaster. Nuclear disaster. What is nuclear disaster? Nuclear disaster is a weapon of mass destruction. This nuclear disaster was first discovered during the Second World War when 2 atom bombs were dropped in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. This took place it was near about in the 1940s, but still today people are suffering for those. Today in Japan, the effect of radiation is still seen in the newborn babies. The radiation have spread thousands of kilometers throughout the people today is also facing the same problem as it was then. That means after such a long period of time, the radioactivity is causing problem. This is one of the worst man-made disaster which can collapse social and political economic establishment across the globe. One more man-made disaster is we will talk about it afterwards. There was a disaster in Ukraine. It was the nuclear. It was the It is Chernobyl in Russia. It was their nuclear power which was accidentally, there was explosion and it caused lots of damages. In the event nuclear disaster, one should close all the doors and windows wherever in the places it is happening. We should close our doors and windows so the radiation is not affected, and people should not go until the government makes arrangement of this and rescue us from those places. Next is chemical and biological disaster. Now talking about chemical and biological disaster, what is biological disaster? As we are facing corona, it is a type of biological disaster which by mistake have came out and it has affected the whole world. This effect of the whole world will make you understand what a disaster gives the society feedback, how the society is step backing, their progress stops. People faces lots of problem. No food is there. People suffers a lot. Many people die due to anxiety, due to fear, and many people is not able to get food, and due to which people die. So we people must try not to do such biological disaster which gives the society, the nation, the world a very bad condition. The progress stops, and as we can see everywhere, everything is stopped. Now what is chemical disaster? Chemical disaster is caused by accidental release of toxic chemicals or gases into the environment. Just I told the one that happened in Bhopal gas plant, and there a gas was leaking out and which have damaged the whole city. People died in sleeping only. The whole city was shattered. About 2,500 people died. The effect of the chemical disaster is extended today also. Many of the today's generation people, their hands and legs are pained, they are unable to stand properly. All such problems does occur. So we should look into these people, those who are handling these types of factories, and they should look into it and handle it carefully. One more man-made disaster is terror attacks. Terror attacks where unwanted people attack the places and kill people. They hijack planes. Sometimes they destroy public infrastructure, railway tracks. This gives lots of problem. One of the two incidents of terror attacks, both of you have heard. That is, one is in 2001, 11 September, the American Trade Center, the Great Trade Center of America, was attacked by the terrorists, and it has collapsed, killing thousands of people in it. Other one is the terror attack that have happened in India, in Parliament in 2001, December 13, and other one in Mumbai, Taj Bengal in 2008, causing lots of damages to people, and many people died into it. Next is travel-related disaster. These disasters are happening, accidents occur when in train, in plane, sometimes ships are traveling the sink like Titanic. So these are human error. So these are not natural disaster. Okay. Case studies of natural disaster and man-made disaster. Natural disaster, Nepal earthquake, which have killed thousands of people in 2015. Lakhs of people were lost their houses. The shock registered. The epicenter of the earthquake was about 77 kilometers from northwest of Kathmandu, and the focus was in about 15 kilometers underground. The two large after one earthquake, two aftershocks are coming because the plates are unstable. They stable themselves. That's why aftershocks are coming. First shock, both the shocks was about 6.6 and 6.7. Several similar smaller earthquakes came after that. Collision of the earth plates caused earthquake in Nepal. The Eurasian plate and the speed of 4.5 centimeter per year. It moving northward. Nepal lies in the fault called thrust fault, where there was a sudden release of energy along the fault resulted to one plate jumping over the other and causes earthquake. Oil spill of coastal areas in USA. Okay, what is oil spill? Oil spill means when the tankers are carrying oil through the ship, and by mistake, how the ships are getting sunk and the oil is being splitted in the ocean, then it causes lots of damages in the marine lives. Such cases are known as deep water horizon. It happened in deep water.